Hi, my name's James Senior, and when I was about 11, 12, I was in a church meeting and heard a missionary from Africa talking about the work that they were doing, and they were raising funds for the work that they were doing in Africa. And my parents were saving money for my college education. I wanted to give the money that my parents were saving for me towards the work that this organisation were doing. We sat down, we discussed it, and we gave the bank book with the money in. And really, when I gave it, something of my heart went with it. And since that point, I'd always had a heart to come to Africa. The Bible says that where your treasure is, there your heart is also. And something of my heart went with the money. It wasn't just a financial, but it was giving of my heart as well. In 2003, my wife and I were sat watching the BBC News it was December the 1st, because it was World AIDS Day. They were doing a report from South Africa, I'm not exactly sure where, and Fiona Bruce was the newsreader, and they went to this clip, and it was a woman who she was dying of AIDS, and all she kept saying was, "Who will look after my children? Who will look after my children?" When they went back to the studio, Fiona Bruce shared about the fact that since it made that report, the woman had died, and actually they didn't know what had happened to the children. They didn't know where they'd gone. And as we watched that report, me and my wife, we both sat, we cried, and we just knew that although we weren't qualified, we could look after children. We could do that. And we both knew that that was a turning point for us, and that we were going to embark on a different journey to look after children in South Africa. We finally moved over to Cape Town, September 2004. It was a huge decision, particularly for Janet, because we lived very close to her parents, and we knew it would break their hearts, taking their 4 grandchildren away from them. And it was a very, very traumatic time, and a very difficult time, but it was a decision that we knew that we had to take. In 1995, we heard a guy called Bill Wilson, known to many as Pastor Bill, and Pastor Bill was a real inspiration to us. He came and really challenged us to take us out of our comfort zone, take us into a new level of commitment, not only reaching children and sharing with children within the church community, which was very cosy, but also reaching children from very different backgrounds to us. And we came knowing it was going to be a huge challenge, but really inspired by his story as well, and wanting to take a step right out of our comfort zone and do something that we had never done before. Our mission at Metro Kids Africa is to help children create a better future. We believe that if we can help them, not only to help themselves but to help those around them, that will have a lasting effect. And a typical example of that is a young girl called Nomatam Sangha. We call her Tam Tam, which is a lot easier. She came as a child, she sat on the mats that we would put out each week. She would sit, she would listen. 2 years ago, when she was 14, she became what we would call a junior leader, where we bring them more into a mentorship program, where we spend more time with them, and really helping them and equipping them to give more to those around them, giving them the tools that they need. But she's actually stepping up now and training to be a site leader, so she will actually have a site of her own with people under her. She's still only 16, but she's putting back into her community. She's helping those around her, and she's a tremendous inspiration. She's there every week at Sidewalk, but she comes to training on a Monday and helps organise what's going to be happening through the week with us. We see that rippling out and having a huge effect in the community, so that it's people building into the lives of those around them, that it's not just a few elite people doing everything, but it's rippling out to everyone.